How's it going, everyone? We are coming up on the release of a brand new Walking Dead game, and you know what? From a premise standpoint, Walking Dead Destinies actually sounds like a really cool game, having you change the course of one of the most popular entertainment IPs honestly, in the history of television. Is that too far of a stretch? Walking Dead is pretty remarkable in terms of its longevity, its mainstream appeal, and now you're getting a brand new video game, Walking Dead Destinies, coming from Flux Game and being published by Game Mill Entertainment. Now, Game Mill Entertainment has been in the news a little bit recently because they put out that King Kong game that, let's just say, people weren't all too fond of. However, Game Mill also published Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, and that game was generally fairly well received. And now they're putting out another game based on a very popular IP in Walking Dead Destinies. Coming from Flux Games, as I mentioned, a studio based out of Brazil. They actually worked on Cobra Kai and Cobra Kai 2 Dojo's Rising, those games. Cobra Kai, The Karate Kid Saga Continues, was actually received decently. They also did some other smaller titles, but this certainly is probably going to be considered their biggest project yet. And when The Walking Dead Destinies was revealed, we saw some initial gameplay that, let's be honest, this isn't a grandiose, big-budget title with incredible technical prowess. That's just not what you're gonna get out of The Walking Dead. However, what I think people are expecting is a game with a compelling narrative and replayability with the various decision-making. And in this video, I want to go over all of the information that you need to know about The Walking Dead Destinies before you spend your $50 on it. So yes, it is a budget title as well. So that is fairly nice to know. It will be coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC, so it'll be coming to all major platforms, and again, at a budget price point of $50, which is nice given that this game isn't, you know, at the level of a lot of $70 games in terms of technical performance, and technical aspects of the game is only one part. But let's talk about the information. The Walking Dead Destinies is all about decision-making and changing the course of Walking Dead. Change the course of AMC's The Walking Dead history, fight walkers, relive iconic moments, and change the destiny of the Walking Dead universe as your choices separate heroes from villains and the living from the dead. Will you make the same choices as Rick, or will you forge your own path? So most of you guys, if you're checking out the Walking Dead Destinies, you're at least somewhat familiar with what happens in Walking Dead. Well, the idea of Destinies is to change a lot of the major aspects of the story. I won't go into everything. For those of you that haven't watched Walking Dead, I highly recommend you watch Walking Dead. At least the first couple of seasons I thought were fantastic. But nevertheless, again, this is a game for fans where you can shape the Walking Dead story to your liking. You begin your journey as Rick Grimes, walking alone in a hospital surrounded by the dead. Assemble allies and fight your way through the Walker apocalypse across iconic locations from The Walking Dead, including Atlanta, the Green family farm, the prison, and Woodbury. In crucial choice-driven moments, you'll forever shape the destiny of your team of characters from the series. Heroes and villains, living and dead, it's up to you to decide whether to stay the course of history or forge your own path through the world of AMC's The Walking Dead. Shatter fate. Alter the story of the AMC's Walking Dead by weaving your own path through the series' events. Save the villain, kill the hero, and live with the consequence. I'm very curious how this game is going to shape up in terms of attention to detail. Obviously, it's very much choice-driven that inherently lends itself to being replayable, but given the fact that this is a smaller scale project, how much detail can you actually put into all of the choices in terms of the ramifications that they're going to have to the overarching narrative of the game, because that means a lot of weaving pathways and whatnot. Hopefully they have detail and an attention to detail with all of the various paths, and it's not diluted because there's gonna be so many different paths. That's gonna be something we're gonna find out when the game does release. Slash, bash, and shoot the undead. Outside of the choice-driven moments, there is an action gameplay emphasis. Slay hordes of walkers in third-person action with a variety of melee and range weapons, including bats, katanas, revolvers, shotguns, and crossbows. And again, while at the heart of the game, I think a big promotional vehicle is gonna be attached to the narrative and the storytelling and the decision-making, there is going to be action gameplay here as well between the big narrative set pieces. Play as 13 iconic characters, assemble your roster from AMC's The Walking Dead. We'll go over The Walking Dead Destiny's character roster in a little bit. Survive the apocalypse, manage limited resources, scavenge for weapons and ammo, and maximize your party's abilities to stay alive and experience the tension. Defend your camp, rescue survivors, and fight through stealth and all-out combat. Get one last chance at survival in a broken state before the zombie threat ultimately overwhelms you. Throughout the game, you'll also experience the tension of The Walking Dead with the inclusion of a stress system that can make the difference between life and death for your heroes in their next walker encounter. And test your skills, there's going to be a variety of different gameplay styles through stealth combat, rescuing survivors, managing limited resources for your party, and defending your camp from the hordes of undeads. Now, an element you guys are surely curious about, what is going to be the character roster represented in the game? Well, obviously, Rick Grimes is going to be who you start as. Start the game as Rick and lead the group through the early chapters of The Walking Dead survivors' iconic journey. Will you make the same choices as Rick, or will you forge your own path? One of the show's iconic characters, Shane, will be there as well. Shane will do whatever it takes to keep the group safe, whether they like it or not. If Shane had been in charge, would more of the original group survived? Michonne's melee skills and ability to call BS make her an irreplaceable part of the group dynamic. Is Michonne's past the key to changing the course's history? Obviously, fan favorite Daryl will be there. Daryl's tracking and hunting skills are unmatched among the Atlanta survivors. Would Daryl's life be different if Meryl made it off that rooftop in one piece? Then Meryl is going to be in the game as well. Old-fashioned ideas and abrasive personality can cause friction within the group, to say the least. Is there a smart way to harness the chaos he creates, or is the group really better off without him? Carol's pragmatism and resourcefulness are crucial for the survival of the group. When the time comes, will you trust the call she makes or go your own way? You'll have Carl. Carl is brave, resourceful, and determined. He is on the journey to becoming an expert marksman, having a keen eye, allowing him to hit faraway targets with pinpoint accuracy. Lori is trapped between a rock and a hard place, the man she loves and his former best friend. Can you change the history so she lives to see her children grow up? You've got Glenn in there as well. Glenn is determined to show the group the kind of man he can be, and he's pretty good at sneaking past walkers when there are too many to fight. Will his romance with Maggie and happily ever after? You've got the governor as well. The governor will do whatever it takes to maintain control and march toward his singular vision of the future. You've got T-Dog, a practical and quiet man who wants to keep his people together. And that is rounding up the entire roster. With all of the various characters, they do have their own natural abilities to utilize. The Walking Dead Destinies will be available on November 17th. It'll be available both physically at various retailers and on digital storefronts. And again, it'll be coming to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam. The physical versions, however, will be available on December the 1st, so a little bit of a delayed release. That's for PlayStation and Xbox, and the physical Nintendo Switch release will be coming on January 16th of next year. The game will take you through critical moments from seasons 1 through 4 of the hit Walking Dead show in a third-person action-adventure experience, and the whole idea is to control the outcome of this story. It'll be very interesting to see if they can create a captivating and engaging storytelling of the first 4 seasons of Walking Dead, and again, really make those choices have lasting consequences that warrant replayability. I think that is the #1 question that we're gonna see if they can execute that with the release of Walking Dead Destinies. The game drops on November 17th, $50 on all major platforms, with the physical release to follow shortly after that. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below on whether or not you have any interest in Walking Dead Destinies. I think from a visual standpoint, it leaves a lot to be desired, but this is a budget title, and I think ultimately the real quality of the game is going to come down to whether or not the storytelling is on point, but obviously unique quality gameplay as well. I think if those two aspects they deliver on, we can let aside the lackluster visual quality. But that'll do it for me. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.